Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is vowing to stay in the race ahead of tomorrow's primary in her home state. This comes as Haley trails former President Trump by more than 30 points in the race to become the Republican nominee. ABC News senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott has the latest from the campaign trail.
The final push here in South Carolina, with the primary now just 1 day away. Nikki Haley casting herself as the underdog, telling voters she's the only Republican who can beat President Biden in November.
You want to see America normal, right? The only way we can do that is if we win a general election. And the problem is, Donald Trump can't win a general election.
But Haley hasn't proved she can stop Donald Trump. Some voters say it's time for her to rally behind him.
She could do a lot for this country if she would back out and just get together with Trump.
Haley lost Iowa and New Hampshire to the former president and is trailing him by more than 30 points here in South Carolina, a state that elected her as governor twice.
This is the time South Carolina can really step up and show the direction that we want our country to go in.
It looks like she's going to lose by 25 or 30 points. That's a lot. She's governor, but people don't like her too much, and she's hurting the party.
Trump hasn't campaigned here all week, speaking to a Christian convention in Tennessee.
Wow, thank you very much.
As his legal team files a series of motions to dismiss the charges accusing him of mishandling classified documents. Trump's still facing 4 criminal indictments, 91 felony counts total.
I consider it a great badge of honor. I really do. It's crazy. I've got to have something a little bit different up there.
But those legal issues have turned off some voters here in South Carolina. Why not Donald Trump?
You know, Donald Trump, every time he opens his mouth, it's all about him.
If Donald Trump is the nominee, are you voting for Trump in the general election?
I will not vote for Trump.
By any means?
No, I changed my party before I voted for him.
Nikki Haley finished 3rd in Iowa, distant 2nd in New Hampshire, but she does do well with the types of voters that typically swing general elections, independents and moderates, and that could prove to be a warning sign for Donald Trump, even if he easily clinches the nomination.
All right, senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott, thank you very much. And now we want to bring in Alex Perche, who's also there on the ground in South Carolina. So, Alex, first and foremost, what are the Republican voters there telling you about the candidates?
Well, Trevor, it really depends on who you ask, right? I mean, you heard those folks in Rachel's piece talking about how, you know, the one lady mentioning how she would change her party before she would vote for the former president. But the fact of the matter is he still has a significant amount of support, polling at about 30 points in front of Nikki Haley in her own home state right now. I've got a chance to kind of crisscross his state. We've seen a couple of these Trump rallies at this point, and, you know, they're packed out. It kind of reminds you of kind of the swell during the 2016 cycle. But with that said, it depends on who you talk to. And as we've talked to a couple of voters across this state, it's mixed. And so a lot of this is going to depend on turnout. But take a listen here.
Nikki Haley. I felt like we needed some changing.
Nikki Haley seemed like a better choice.
President Trump, he's just done great things for the country. It's one of those things where you just can't go wrong with his results.
Donald Trump. I believe he can put us back on our right track.
Well, and so with those voters that we just heard, I mean, a lot of this depends on messaging and what's really resonating, right? Is it 4 more years of a Trump administration that a lot of people believe that, you know, they want him to kind of finish the job? Or is it that it's time for new leadership? And we've seen both candidates really kind of drilling down, trying to hammer that message here.
1 day left until the primary. Alex, what's on the agenda for the candidates today?
Okay, Trevor, so we've got a busy day. Trump surrogates campaigning throughout the state. We also got the former president here. He's got 2 events this evening. CPAC is also going on today, where a host of Trump surrogates, including Congressman Gates, Jim Jordan, will also be speaking. Then for Nikki Haley, she's got a couple of events going on today. Listen, she's had a bus tour crisscrossing the state basically all week. You can expect that to extend into tomorrow.
Polling doesn't look like it's going to be all that close, Alex. So what are you going to be watching for?
Well, Trevor, I mean, I think, you know, when you see a 30-point gap in the polls, yes, it is indicative of where the winds are kind of blowing, if you will. But a lot of this also depends on turnout. And so I think, you know, while the former president has a 30-point lead right now, according to our 538 averages, a lot of this depends on how many people show up to this primary. And so that's what I'm going to be watching for turnout tomorrow.
I think Democrats will be watching that as well. Alex Perche for us in South Carolina ahead of the primary. Alex, thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.